I'd like to start off with reading a few cards that I've been received from Mark and Shona on a big day. The first is from our neighbours. All the best for your future. From Grace Ann, Fraser, Sean, Michelle and Barry. The second is to Mark and Shona, wishing a special couple a lifetime of happiness together. Congratulations and best wishes for your future. Love, Nicola, Cara and Ryan. And lastly, to Mark and Shona with love. Today, dear son, as you walk down the aisle, you'll see all the faces wearing a smile. For your new lives as husband and wife have begun, congratulations to a new daughter and our son. As we remember those young, tender years, our smiles will conceal a few hidden tears. They're not tears of sorrow, but tears full of joy as we're thinking back to our dear little boy. And now you've grown and made us so proud. Remember, dear Mark, as you take your new wife Shona, you're still very much part of our life. So be happy, enjoy your big day, have a wonderful marriage, love always, Mum and Dad. So we'll just start, sorry. Mark, on behalf of the bridesmaids, Nicola and Cara, and the maid of honour, Carol, can I just thank you for that toast that you just gave. Well, this is the moment Mark's been looking forward to all day. I know I have. So where to start? Well, Mark's one of my oldest friends. We've known each other since school, and I have to say, I was thrilled when he asked me to be his best man. Because of all my friends, Mark is the one who has the most material for speech. So what can I say about him? Well, Mark's always been a good and loyal friend over the years, a loving uncle to Cara and Ryan, a grown man who still loves playing with Lego, a man who always knows what he wants and will generally figure out a way to get it. A trait he demonstrated early in life, when at the tender age of 18 months, he locked his mother out of the house so he could get at the goodies in the cupboard. When they finally got in through an upstairs window, they found young Mark sitting in the kitchen, grinning away, while still trying to get the top of a bottle of cola taller than himself. He's also a man who enjoys his hobbies, recently taken up golf. And although he's getting better all the time, last time he played, he spent more time in the long grass than the rabbits. I know, I could see him from a bunker. But his real passion was always for fishing, loving that battle of wits between man and fish. Well, most of the time. Although, there was the time he went on his first all-nighter on his own, when he ended up phoning his mum because of the large animal rustling in the bushes. And obviously, his mum comfortingly told him not to worry, that he was safe. Unfortunately, this still wasn't enough to stop him phoning the police. He headed them out to his tent, only for them to tell him that it was probably a fox. And no, I'm afraid it's not going to be a fox. Oh, and by the way, Shona, sorry. His mum asked me to tell you it's now officially your job to check his wellies for spiders before he goes out fishing. He gets the rubber gloves on and the helmet to check his bags in case one of the eight-legged gets snuck in there. But don't let me give you the impression that he's all mild-mannered Clark Kent. He was also a bit of a wild Superman when he was younger, as his dad, Mark's on-call taxi driver, can attest to after finding his son spread-eagled in the middle of a rugby pitch. And it was a lucky find, considering that it was pitch dark and Mark was wearing black at the time. So I had high hopes that on his stag do we could bring back the old wild Mark for a night of pure debauchery. And I would love to tell you that he drank 17 pints of lager, that he had a lap dance from a 7-foot transvestite with a beard, and ended up chained to the back of a ferry on its way to Norway. However, I'm afraid in reality, we ended up playing golf with no strippers, then pool, still no strippers, and then Mark had a half of shandy, a mug of cocoa, and an early night. In fact, the only thing that went to plan was what we made him dress up in to play golf. I won't say what it was, as there's under 18s in the room, but it was black leather, and we can't put the photos online because of obscenity laws. Now, I have to admit, I do understand why he plays it safe mode as he gets older, because he does seem to get wiser, but more delicate as the years pass. I mean, when he was 9, he learned why his parents told him not to jump on the bed when he cracked his head off the radiator. When he was 12, he learned why his parents told him to take his hands out of his pockets and watch where he was going when he tripped over a curb and hit his head off the pavement. So 2 lessons learned, 2 serious head injuries, 2 trips to the hospital, and no long-term damage at all. Well, not much anyway. But nowadays, as he's gotten older, he can cripple himself just crossing the road. And frankly, he's lucky he could open a packet access to safety. To his credit though, these repeated injuries never stopped him from enjoying a nice holiday. Like when he was younger, his parents took him to great places, like Florida, where they were invited to swim with the sharks, the clues in the name. Mark gets in, feels something brush his leg, and shoots like a torpedo to the other side of the pool, screaming shark like a scene from Jaws. Needless to say, they weren't invited back. More recently was the lads' trip to Gran Canaria, where we decided to book a boat for the day and do a bit of fishing. And I have to admit that it was a magical experience, because we spent the better part of 6, 7 hours sailing along with all manner of marine life joining us. Turtles following, dolphins playing with us, even whales were coming up. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Mark unfortunately missed most of it, as he spent the whole time asleep on the bow of the boat. I do regret not giving him some sunscreen, because he spent the next couple of days looking like he'd had a bath in tomato juice. Silly bro. Not quite as silly as his mum, when after he just passed his test, she loaned Mark her brand new car to pop to the shops, and then had to replace the driver's door. Oh yes, Mark has a history with cars, whether it's ploughing through a hedge into a field, or dragging off a bumper on his own drive. Shona, for your own sake, from now on, if you're in a car together, please make sure you're behind the wheel. So, I've been talking a lot about Mark, but it's really because of Mark and Shona is why we're all here today. I remember when Mark first mentioned that he was dating Shona. Admittedly, I was only half paying attention at the time, so when he used the phrase, "great catch," I naturally assumed he'd been fishing. So when he started using phrases like, "the most beautiful thing I've ever seen," and "I've never had a kiss like it," I naturally became a little concerned. However, a short 6 months later, his friends were allowed to meet her. And I have to admit that I went along to the meet a little nervous, because his priors had included the sisters of Hannibal Lecter, Freddy Krueger, and Godzilla. So you can imagine my surprise when I see next to Mark this attractive woman, who when we got talking to her, was this you realise was this intelligent and shy woman who was attracted to Mark, but who didn't seem to have any serious psychological issues whatsoever. So here we are, 5 years later, and they're now married. I've seen two main things over that time. The first, I've seen two people in love. And I mean, that's why we're here in the first place. Because of their love, to celebrate it. The second point is I've never seen my friend happier than he is with Shona. And that's all you can ask from a partner, that they make you happy. So here's the man who now has it all. The lovely wife, the loving family, good job, nice house, and above all, his extensive collection of Star Trek craft. Can I ask you all to please be upstanding and to raise your glasses, wishing you both a lifetime of love and happiness together. The happy couple.
Happy couple.